So let me welcome to this interview Giuseppe Conti. I know Giuseppe Conti for a while already. I've been in some of his trainings, and he has also been to some extent my client. But I let Giuseppe introduce himself, and then we will go on with the interview. Hi, Giuseppe.
Hello, Andres. So my name is Giuseppe Conti. I am Italian and Swiss, and I have worked in a corporate environment for 25 years with large multinationals like Procter & Gamble, Novartis, Firmenich, and Merck. And then since 2018, I moved to I set up my own company. It's called the Conti Advanced Business Learning, CABL.ch. And I am running a workshop and consulting in negotiation and influencing. So that's really my business, the whole space of negotiation and influencing.
Exactly, and that's where also, that's the type of trainings I participated in your case. I mean, you started as, you had a successful corporate career. What made you choose the entrepreneurial route? Because you could have been very well safe in that environment.
Yeah, well, I developed a passion for training and teaching when I was an internal trainer at Procter & Gamble. Okay. So it was on top of my procurement job, I started to give training. And then almost by chance, in 2005, I had the first opportunity to start teaching at the University of Geneva.
Okay.
In 2006, I started teaching at IMD and Bocconi. In 2008, at INSEAD, the London Business School. And as the number of schools was growing, my passion for teaching and training kept growing. So I say to myself, well, you know, at some point in time in my career, I want to make it my full-time job and really live what I love doing.
So it's something that you almost discovered by chance. So you started doing, and you saw that you could actually be successful with it, at least doing it.
Yes. Now, I have to say, in my own family, my father was a teacher, my mom a teacher, my first sister a teacher, my second sister a teacher, my third sister a teacher. So somehow, you know, there was a family environment that made, you know, the teaching something which is something that is part of our life. But yes, the fact that I will set up my own company, and that's something that really built over time as I kept doing it.
Exactly. So for you, it was just a possibility to do more of what you actually wanted, what you're passionate about. So you chose that entrepreneurial route. And you said yourself, you're a family of teachers, but you're not a family of entrepreneurs, because being a teacher is, from my experience, it's a bit of a different mindset than someone who is an entrepreneur. So therefore, my second question, what are some strategic choices you had to make as you went down that entrepreneurial road?
Well, as you mentioned, is not. I don't come from a family of entrepreneur, and I didn't really have a clear vision about what I had to do. You know, people say, "Oh, the entrepreneur comes with a fantastic vision and win." And in my case, you know, I had a romantic dream of what I wanted to do, but my vision was not really so sharp. Okay. So I had to come up with a few decisions that I had to make through the course of you know, the initial phases of my entrepreneurial route, so that I will go in the right direction. For instance, one of the important choices was what kind of services to offer. And I made the choice to go with a narrow set of services, but very focused. Okay. Only negotiation and influencing. You know, I've been teaching in the past change management, I've been teaching leadership, but my decision is I want to have a clear position in the mind of the customers. If I'm somebody that is teaching everything, then maybe, you know, you're not teaching nothing. So I said, okay, let's make it clear. Let's go for a focus kind of set of services. And then maybe as the company grows, I can also grow the set of services.
So in your case, what you said is you didn't really start with a vision, but you sharpened the vision as you were building the business. So you were actually doing things. And as you were doing, you were taking that experience and sharpening it.
Yeah.
And then I remember that's part of the work we did together also, and you built a board around you. So you also got external advice. So I think one smart thing you did is that you didn't try to sort it out all by yourself, but you surrounded yourself with people who could help you sharpen the vision, who you could use as sparring partners, etc. So I think that was a very smart thing you did as an entrepreneur.
Yes, and indeed, I think the advisory board was one of the most useful tools that I have experienced, because when you're on your own, you may be doing your things, but are you really giving the right image on social media? Are you making the right choices?
Absolutely.
Are you, offering something that really the market wants? So the idea of setting up an advisory board, it was really okay. Having a group of trusted advisors with whom I can have a group talk calls together 2 or 3 times a year, plus some individual calls, so that whenever you are in doubt, you have somebody with a specific expertise that can help you to go in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. And so that brings me to the next question. Sort of, you went independent, what, about a year ago?
1.5, yeah.
1.5. So what are 2 or 3 most important lessons learned as you've taken sort of that step out of corporate into now running your own business?
Well, maybe a bit of background. I've been doing a portfolio career for 12.5 years. So while I was working, I was started to teaching. And, at the time when it was only a minor part of my job, I was always fully booked. So I was pretty relaxed about the fact of having to sell. So when I set up my company, I had already built a nice pipeline for the last 6 months. So I just went on delivering.
Yeah.
And then guess what? I didn't do any business development.
Okay.
So one of my mistakes was that for the first 6 or 7 months, I just ran a workshop. And guess what? When I get 6 months later to the end of 2018, I realized that in January, I didn't have many customers. In February, I didn't have many customers. In March, I didn't have many customers. So I guess, an important lesson is balancing the different roles that an entrepreneur has to do. I'm not only teaching. I have to do the teaching. I have to do the business development. I have to do the administration. I have to do the research to continue.
Exactly. So you have that suddenly you had a role or 2 more to fill that you only realized with hindsight, oh, there is also this role. and I think you've now managed, because you've managed to set up your business development system now to some extent.
Exactly. That's something that I didn't have, because filling 10 or 20% of my time was so easy. Filling 100%, of course, is more of a challenge. Another thing that I struggle with, that I learned across the way, is what type of customers to work with. What I mean is that if you look from a pragmatic perspective, then the easiest would be have big customers like Nestle that need lots of workshops, lots of consulting, and that they will keep calling you year after year. You will have a nice recurring business that goes forward. Now, the problem is that the companies like Nestle are unlikely to buy from a small company like mine. Now, the reverse is, if you go to small companies, of course, there may be a fit in terms of size. But then every time you do one sale, then you have to find another customer, and then again another customer. So that's
so it's really finding the right profile of customers.
The right profile. And I discovered an interesting formula that I would like to share here. And the formula says that the sales is a multiplication of 3 factors. The number of potential customers, the conversion rate, and the average value of the customer. So, look again, number of potential customer, conversion rate, average value of the customer. So you have to make you can make different kind of choices. For instance, you can call everyone you know.
Yes.
You can try to talk to 150 people, but probably, you have a lots of potential customer, but the conversion rate is going to be smaller. And the average value may fluctuate.
Yes.
Or another type of philosophy may be, I'm going to work only with 10 people that I know very well, which work at large companies, then the conversion rate will be higher, and also will have an average size of contract, which will be pretty big. So, I guess the advice for each entrepreneur is decide for your own industry and for your own type of business, which is the type of profile and how you're going to play.
Exactly. So what's the size of the not only in terms of target marketing, what's the avatar or what's the profile, but also what's the average sale you want to make. So to have sort of the fundamental numbers of your business. And I think that's something that we as entrepreneurs also had to learn as we went, because I think we have to some extent a similar path that we came out of corporate and had to realize I need to learn this whole business development side of the business. And this is one of the things you need to think about, to say, what are my fundamental numbers in the business? And how do I get that sales machine going? So you said yourself you had to make some choices. And I think the idea of choices is quite important here. So you made choices in terms of market, you made choices in terms of product, you made choices, etc.
And I think probably a third lesson that I would like to share with others is really getting help. Getting help, it may be one-to-one consulting, it may be joining a training like the one that I attended with you about Book Yourself Solid. It may be having an advisory board with people that give you guidance. Because when you ended up having to make some choices for your own business, you may not be always right. For instance, I remember one of the choices I had at the beginning was, who are my target customers? And at the beginning, really, I wanted to approach everyone. Everybody needs negotiation, everybody needs influencing, etc. But of course, if you spread yourself so thin, then probably it's not going to work well. So getting some good advice from people about those kind of choices will help to make.
You also had good marketing people in the board. I remember.
Exactly.
Good. So anything else you'd like to share as we conclude this conversation? Anything else?
I would say that, I'm really delighted that we made the choice of going into entrepreneurship. So, it's amazing to be able to live your passion, to wake up every day that you're doing something that you love. So absolutely. I don't regret any single minute, the idea of moving from corporate to the entrepreneurship side. Now, something that probably is important for potential entrepreneur to be aware is that be prepared to work long hours. Also because when it's your own company and you have the passion and you want to make it happen, etc., then inevitably you may be tempted, to go the extra mile in order to make your company successful. So
don't think it's going to be a 9 to 5.
No, it's not going to be a 9 to 5. So do make sure, by the way, that your family is well aligned behind your choice, to make sure that you also get the support inside the family to make it work and happen.
Cool. Thank you very much, Giuseppe, for this
Thank you, Andreas.
interview.
It was my pleasure.
And I wish you a very good weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.